Get ready, sports fans. The fan base is here.
But let's flash back to 1983. And Steve, man, what do you got for us?
All right, well, 14-year-old me was watching live when this happened. Anyway, but yeah, back then, only like half the games were televised, so it was kind of a treat. It was a Sunday afternoon game. And I remember they're down 3-2, nobody on, 2 outs. UL Washington gets a single leading off base. And actually, I think it was the very first pitch of the at-bat.
I think so. And side note, UL could have had a Hall of Fame career if he had laid off the cocaine, but that's
Maybe.
that's a
half that team was on cocaine.
I know it was.
Literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like everybody's so excited. All right, we got a lead, 4-3, and then Billy Martin came out of the dugout, and that's when the announcers, Denny Treese, and they were talking. Oh, it looks like he might be protesting the Pine Tar because they laid the bat down against the plate.
Mm-hmm. You're out, dude. I remember watching this too because it was such a treat to see the Royals on TV back in the day, like on a Sunday afternoon. Like that was a treat to watch. And I remember he got to the plate, he crunched that home run. Dude, we're ahead. Oh man, it was awesome. And then that moment happens. He just runs out. And so here's the reason why I've read this somewhere is that they didn't like the Pine Tar to be so high on the bat because a lot of times if you hit the barrel of the bat on the ball, it left Pine Tar on the ball, so it ruined more balls quicker and it made it more expensive. So it had nothing to do with the fact that, oh, you get a batting advantage by having Pine Tar way up there. It was just, hey, it kind of ruins baseballs. So please don't have that so high. We're going to make a rule so you can't do that. And so the fact that Billy Martin called him out on it and called him on it, and then the ump overturned the home run, dude, that was an instant sports meme right there.
Yeah, it was. And then I think Steve, like it went through a formal protest, and I think the Major League Baseball office in New York actually reinstated the home run, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did. They replayed it like on a random Thursday after they had an off day between playing Boston and Baltimore or something like that. So they were on the East Coast, so they played. And then Billy Martin was so pissed off about it being overturned that he put in the bottom of the ninth, he put players in all random positions or in the top. When the Royals came up to bat with 2 outs, he had people all over in different positions than they were supposed to.
Well, that was dumb because they still had a chance to win the game.
You would think.
They could have still won the game. And I like it. You said this backstage while we were not recording, but you said George Brett went from being the hemorrhoid guy to being the Pine Tar road rage guy.
Yeah.
I remember so many jokes about him having hemorrhoids. And then after this Pine Tar thing, I never heard another joke about him and his hemorrhoids. I never thought about George Brett's hemorrhoids again.
Until right now, this moment. But I think, Chris, you might have the clip with the Dan Patrick, George Brett interview.
1983.
Pine Tar.
Pine Tar.
Any idea going into that game that there's any suspicions about your bat?
No, none whatsoever. I had used that bat. It was one of the best bats I have ever gotten. I think it was a 9-grainer, which there's only 9 grains going through the whole bat. And that bat was hard. And I bet I used that bat for over a month. Well, you put Pine Tar on a bat for a month, it's gonna start bleeding into the wood, and the levels, it's just gonna start building up. And I had no idea, Dan, in all honesty, that bat was illegal. And that's why I never did anything about it.
This is how it played out with the Pine Tar game at Yankee Stadium.
The pitch deep to right field. Holy cow, I don't believe it. Home run for George Brett. And Billy Martin now is coming out. He wants to take a look at that bat. And if he wins this, there will be chaos. You remember that?
I can't believe that.
Wait a minute, Bill.
I can't believe that.
They did that to Thurman Munson out in Minnesota.
Brett is upset, and I can't believe that, Phil. I can't believe they called Brett out here.
Unbelievable inning is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the word was that Nettles and Billy Martin saw this earlier in the season. They looked at the bat.
We played the Yankees 2 weeks prior to that,
Okay.
and the bat, Greg Nettles said, hey, God, he's got so much Pine Tar in that bat, I think it's an illegal bat. I didn't do anything in that series to affect the outcome of the game. if you get a single in the third inning with 2 outs, they don't care. They were waiting for something in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning that might change the outcome. So they didn't say a word. And then sure enough, 2 weeks later, I got the same bat, and it's got, 14 more days of pine tar built up on that thing. And so we go in there, and that was the last game of the series. And then in the 9th inning, 2 outs in the 9th inning, we're down by a run or two, and then I hit that home run. And they said, I think that's going to affect the outcome of this game. Let's go out and challenge it now. And that's what they did. And God, it was crazy because I have never heard of that happening before.
That's crazy. What a great story. What a great way to kick off baseball.
That was one hell of a meltdown right there. One hell of a meltdown. Now, George Brett, one of my favorite players, obviously, because growing up as a Royals fan, if you want to sometimes go, if you've never heard this story, he is at spring training and he's telling somebody a story about when he was at the Bellagio and he incidentally sharted his pants, but he doesn't remember. He didn't know that he was mic'd up. And he tells this whole story about how he shit his pants and he's walking through the Bellagio with his slushing shoes. And you just got to watch it. I don't know what you need to type in to go find that, but that's a hilarious thing right there.
I think it was a seafood boil or seafood baker, something in one of the places. And he had to throw his britches away and he had his jacket kind of tied around to the back of his pants. But I mean, just his deadpan deliveries out in surprise.
He's telling the story like he's proud of it, dude. It's hilarious. Like he's like, yeah, so I shit my pants, and he's just like,
well, the best part is he's telling the story to all these guys that are like AA, AAA players, like on the borderline of making it, and they're like, what? This is the Hall of Fame guy? Like making his pants?
Talking about making a caca?
Oh my God.
But hey, I shit my pants in a baseball game once. So, I mean, look, all the great guys do it. So,
yeah.